All right, sweet. I guess we'll start off with introductions. Hello, everyone. My name is Tootsie Forever. I've been making pony videos since 2012. Mostly a bunch of, I don't even know my content anymore. It's like all over the place.
You used to do like small little, let's say, parody stuff or something like spoofs?
Yeah, no.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's all over the place during the first 2 years, I think.
Most people know me as the guy that Leafy roasted. That's like the big one.
Yeah.
Oh, Leafy is here. Oh, no.
Anywho, right beside me are my two lovely co-hosts. That's when you introduce yourself.
Oh, me first?
Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm LittleshyFIM. I make I make YouTube videos mostly. I have some other side projects and such. Yeah, no real qualifications for G5 other than just being a fan and having seen the movie a dozen times. So.
And complaining about it.
Hey everybody, I'm SonicCrew128 and been making videos since 2014 and mostly named for MLP and RLs, PMVs, and yeah, I mean, I'm just, like I said, like all this is new to me and like G5 and all that such, so it's going to be interesting to talk about, so.
Now the first thing I have to ask, and this is going off topic for both of you guys, is,
Oh boy.
it's going to be a boring answer anyway, what do you guys actually think of the G5 movie? Because my opinion is going to be way kind of like a little bit different.
I mean, if we're going to go ahead and talk about
I
it.
can summarize it pretty quickly. I love the first half. It was just kind of the ending I didn't care for.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you right.
That's the shortest
Right.
review.
Can't be wrong and can't be right. That's what I try to say.
My main opinion about the Generation 5 movie is, it's so hard to do this because this panel are basically putting the two against Generation 4 and Generation 5. It is so difficult to compare a 90-minute movie to a 9-year season show. Now, sit back and relax while we compare a 90-minute movie to a 9-year show.
Yep, that's this panel in a
82
nutshell.
minutes exactly with no credits.
Yep. My main opinion on the movie is that I thought it was really good because I went in with the mindset thinking, just be better than the G4 movie. The 20s.
We'll get to that. I'm sure
Oh,
we'll have that
yeah.
discussion.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I guess we will jump right into this to what? What's our first slide we got over there?
Leaks to now.
Oh yeah.
We're starting all the way back in late 2016.
Yeah, we're going old school on this one.
Yeah, none of the leaks ended up happening. Like, that's totally unrelated.
Yeah.
But it is interesting
Yeah.
to look at how we had all this excitement and interest in the show in G5 even long before we had any shred of it. Even now, we only have the movie based on this panel
yeah.
at least.
And don't take that into consideration because the whole zip thing, I just thought it looked cool because I thought maybe there was a small chance
right.
that there was like maybe Rainbow Dash converted into zip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we might talk about the characters a little bit, but I don't think we'll make any truly direct connections because I don't think we're meant to. All right, they're supposed to be new
Yeah.
characters. So.
There was a lot of leaks, I think, from 2016 that giant leak dump came out and everyone freaked out because
late 2017.
was it late 2017?
Yeah.
And they were
Okay.
going right
That
through
was my
Because I think that's where that first image came from of like, oh, Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
From DeviantArt or possibility Google Images.
Because I remember I did a video talking about the leaks of Generation 5, and that video blew up, which that was literally just a joke video.
It was supposed to be a joke, but everyone took it too serious.
Yeah.
So starting with the leaks and the early development of both G4 and G5, the real question is, how do we feel about like G5 being a continuation, sort of? That there's a very strong emphasis on the sort of because they are trying to do a new thing here.
I honestly love it, but I love the fact that you guys can hate me on that, that's perfectly fine. I respect your opinion, just you don't have to respect mine. But, anywho, Generation 5, I'm just going to assume my theory is that it takes place thousands of years into the future, or not 1,000, but at least a long time. Because obviously the main 6 aren't there, spoiler, sorry.
Or
They're dead.
we don't know for sure all the details. We might hear more about the main 6 in the series, but
Pretty sure
that's
they're
something
dead.
we can't really talk about too much because nobody knows at this point. We have to.
Yeah, I mean, there's theories, and we're not a theorization, or
They retired to Boca Raton.
Yeah.
But it just don't give us a lot of numbers to really go off. That's what I go like. There's not.
yeah, I love how a lot of it was just open to interpretation.
Yeah. I guess about 56 years or 46 years automatically when I first watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Which was incorrect because there was a lot of dust and stuff, so I tried to like rework that.
Yeah, my question is, it's like, with these, I think the first one of Rainbow Dash is like from, you said 2017? I like how the character, I mean, I guess that maybe the first script could have like revolved around the actual main 6. And then they were just like, no, let's just do different characters. We need something new, need something different. Like, what's your guys' opinion on that?
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, I think like we said before, you know, with like how it was like building up between G4 and G5, with like how it's a continuation of the universe. I mean, I kind of like it with a little bit something different, but you know, like maybe something like a new, different type of Equestria that's not building off of the original main 6. But I mean, with this, like again, I really don't know what much is going to go on with the future of the series, but I don't know. Like I'm still a little iffy on it because. Can't really like top like G4 really.
Well, that's the elephant in the room, right? We're trying to compare something we barely know anything about. We
Yeah.
only have
Yeah,
the movie to
I
go
mean,
on.
yeah, that's
compared
fair.
to like a decade of this well-established show.
Yeah.
But where there's interesting comparison, I think, especially with the leaks, is the early expectations of it and how we
Yeah.
all expected G5 to just be more
Yeah,
more
yeah, more
G4,
main 6 or-
but like a new main 6, right?
I honestly
Yeah.
thought it was gonna suck. Then it turns out to be like one of my favorite movies of all time now.
Well, yeah, because I've always wished they would do a fresh start, and they
Yeah.
sort of did a fresh start while also referencing all this past stuff. So I'm kind of optimistic about this because it's all the good and all the bad, all the best of both, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like loose potholes is another thing in this movie. Like when I first watched it, sitting through it, I was thinking, wait, there's a lot of loopholes in this.
Yeah, I mean, everyone, I feel like Generation 5, it's never, I'm sorry, but I don't think it's ever going to live up to the hype that Generation 4 established.
Well,
I
again,
don't
we
think
don't
it
know
ever will.
that. We don't know that. It's
I
gonna
mean, it could
probably
be
bring in
good.
a whole,
It could be like
a whole new
amazing.
audience.
But I'm just saying, when it came out, I've heard the biggest thing I heard was like, oh, they broke or retconned all this lore of Friendship is Magic. Like, where are the Wendigos? Who's raising the sun and moon? And I don't know. Maybe they're still alive. I don't know.
This is just turning into a movie discussion, isn't it?
I'm sorry. Okay, we'll move.
As far as the future, things are different.
Right.
Yes, they are completely different.
Yeah.
Two different.
did make that little amulet that helped collaboration.
Yes.
Yeah.
But really, the question is, where's that amulet? Is it buried somewhere, put it in a huge dungeon, or possibly in a cave?
Who knows?
No one knows.
That's for the series.
So one of the questions to ask is do you have to see G4 to really appreciate G5? And the movie would almost sort of suggest maybe yes, like you do have to you appreciate it more at least if you have all that understanding of the main 6 and like the map on the wall and who Star Swirl is in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously not a requirement, but there is that expectation that fans are going to be carried over to the new generation.
And with your talk about the characters, that does bring us to our next one is, how does the G5 characters compare to the G6 ones? Like,
G6?
G6
You're thinking way ahead in the future.
I think you read
Yeah,
main
we're going
6.
I'm- like I said, I'm nervous. I apologize. But anywho, with your guys' impression of the G5 movie, what did you guys think? I'm asking the audience here on this one.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. I like the new characters. One thing I thought was pretty interesting is a lot of their. I felt like the new characters were actually a little more subtle than the introductions of the main 6, because like the very first episode is. The very first episode of G4 is just like, here's this character, here's their element, you know, so like, you know, Pinky is the partier and the...
Yeah, like their personality type wise.
Yeah.
Well, again, there's that expectation of us, the fans, I was mentioning earlier, but also the expectation from Hasbro and all the people working on it, how they're already ready to push a bunch of spin-offs and shows and stuff for G5.
Yeah, they spent millions of dollars on this.
Probably.
Like, a lot of money on
But
this.
G4 was just like a toy commercial. Like they probably, I mean, the people who worked on it, of course, cared. It shows. But like Hasbro just wanted their toy commercial.
Yeah, they just want their money.
Yeah.
They're
That
moolah.
money.
Even though they made their money, they made over $8,000 in that movie too.
So obviously what's interesting now with the comparison is we have the movie trying to sell toys, of course, but also they are obviously trying to carry over that fan base. So it's a totally different dynamic than what we got with G4, which was spontaneous out of nowhere, compared to G5 kind of targeting that. And
Yeah.
that could be a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe it's going to be a bad thing that they're trying too hard to like target the fans, or maybe it's a great thing that we have all these references and continuation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what was good. Okay, I say Sunny. I guess we can talk about the characters real quick.
Yeah,
I
and
guess we might
you
as
did
well.
bring that up. Like how they compare.
Might as well just look at your phone because I don't even have mine on. I'm sorry. Because we have a Google Doc of everything, so we're gonna try our best to just fly through everything.
We didn't just show up today. We did just try to plan this out.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now with the characters, we have to talk about the main character. Well,
Sunny.
Sunny Star Scout or Sunny Starshine in the original draft, I guess.
All right. Yeah, there was like 2 names.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Sunny, I absolutely love her. I'm probably biased on her because of the Sunny pillow and the Sunny plush over there, but Sunny, I think she's a great stand-in for Twilight Sparkle.
See, well, that's where the discussion is raised because my first impression, again, it's personal opinion. We don't.
We're
need to
gonna
dive-
get into a fight this
We
panel,
don't
aren't
need
we?
to dive too deep into personal opinion. I'm not a giant fan of Sunny right now, but again, it all comes down to how the
Yeah.
show works out. So the comparison, the versus, the title of this panel would be: how does Twilight as a main character compare to Sunny as a main character? Assuming she is, I assume she is. Why wouldn't she be? Yeah, so we have that early look at Twilight as the unicorn. She's
Yeah.
naive and kind of sarcastic and not really into this whole friendship thing. And then you have Sunny, who is kind of just optimistic the whole time. She didn't
Yeah.
really
She's
change.
amazingly stupid. That's the best way to describe it.
Well, stupid's a little bit harsh, but
I'm sorry.
maybe that same naiveness that
I will
Twilight
quote
had.
what you said on your CinemaSins video.
Oh, no, don't
It
bring
was-
that up.
It's just she's a Facebook mom, just doesn't know what to do but wants to help.
Wait, I didn't say that. Who said that?
I thought you did it in one of your videos.
I don't think I said that.
I could have swore you
No,
it was
but-
in a Discord call. I don't
But the
remember.
point is, Sunny has her goal, and she's very strong-willed in that sense, and that's like there's some positive qualities there.
But she doesn't know how to really show it, I guess.
Well, my problem is she doesn't really have any character development. She doesn't have to learn
Yeah.
anything or grow in any way.
Compare Hitch's development with Sunny's in the movie, and there's a big difference. Because did I say Sitch? Okay,
Yeah.
Hitch goes in basically, no, we don't like any of these other races. What are you doing? And then he actually changes throughout the movie as he goes on this grand journey with Sunny. And then that campfire scene, that's one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that was great.
It's like, oh, come over here. And then Sunny just does that wink like,
Like, just trying to be good. Like, for me, I think Sunny is just trying to be that middle ground of Gould, like civil goodness. Not like Gold, which that'd be a whole different level of good.
what about you, Sunny? You haven't really said much.
What about Sunny? Or
Well, I guess right now we're talking about Sunny as a main character, especially compared to Twilight as main
Yeah,
character.
what's your
yeah,
thought?
well, I mean, like, I think we've already kind of like talked about it, but you know, like, I kind of like the opposite that we were going for G5. You know, like we're back in G4. Twilight was like she didn't want to learn friendship or anything. You know, she was sent to Ponyville and all that such. But you know, in G5, right?
Yeah, we're G5.
I'm just double checking.
No, it's G6.
No, see, it's main
opposite.
5 G6 versus G4 main 6.
That's kind of weird to think about.
You're killing me. All right.
Yeah.
Are we done with the characters? Should we move on?
Well, no, we'll talk about them throughout, but I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, it's just an interesting comparison, I think.
Yeah.
We just have to wait to see more of Sunny to see how she compares directly. But
And as for the other characters, Izzy is amazing. She's super cute.
Yes.
She's basically, yes.
Everyone, I even have one of my profiles of Izzy. I have her on Steam.
Izzy is amazing just because, I don't know, she's like Pinkie Pie, but not.
yeah.
She's-
exactly, that's the easy comparison.
I
know.
Yeah.
I honestly just thought she was like, oh, she's the dumb one. But no, she's not.
See, people thought the same thing about Pinkie Pie, but then we got to learn more about her. We learned how she grew up on the farm and all that backstory.
Yeah.
I think we're going to learn the same about Izzy, where she's not just kind of the mindless, optimistic
Yeah,
pony. She's gonna
probably.
she's gonna have more development, I'm sure.
And then Hitch, we just talked about his development,
Yeah.
so there's not really much to go over
actually,
there.
I don't think I did. I like Hitch a lot because he starts off, he has that motivation of disliking the other creatures because that's how he was raised, that's all he
Yeah.
knows. And he got to meet some, and he has that development. So that's why I prefer Hitch over Sunny.
That badge is creating an unhealthy power dynamic.
How about is there any
Well,
zip
we got a quick question.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, go.
I just wanted to say, I don't think Hitch's motivation in the beginning is really disliking the other creatures so much as that, what I thought was interesting is a big part of his identity is his role as the sheriff, and so he's very protective towards the other ponies.
I think the downfall with Hitch is that
A lot of
his ego got the better of him.
Yeah.
Because even in that movie, you can tell Sprout was, I don't even know, what was Sprout
Mama's
like?
boy.
I don't want to say Mama's boy,
Well,
I would
kind
say,
of, yeah.
I guess he was in more of the shadow of Hitch. That's how I saw it.
Envious.
And then, what was the other one?
Any Zip and Pip fans in here? Is that right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I like them.
Okay, I'll go ahead and throw this out there. Those two.
I don't think Pip would have gotten the others out of jail. I think only Zip would have done that. I think Pip is like the little sister you have to drag along with your mom and don't leave them out.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say this right now. Like I said, since we don't have a lot to go off with the G5, since we only just got the movie, but we'll have to see how they develop throughout the series. But Pip right now is not my favorite.
Actually,
I love how small she is. She's
I
small.
don't know, like it's just the whole social media thing.
so
like,
I have this
like,
whole thing about
enthusiasts.
Pip. She's my favorite character right now.
What?
And the more I talk about why she's my favorite character, the more it sounds like I hate her as a character. Because she's this shallow social media influencer. Again, talking about the movie, not the series. We don't know what's going to happen. But in the movie, she's this shallow social media influencer who seems like it's going to be part of the story in some way, but then it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
She's just the influencer. And I love that because it's so genuine as a cartoon character that she's just a joke. Like, she's a caricature.
It would have been so much better if she would have live streamed like Sunny's speech.
Right, yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen, but it's just.
Yeah.
But she does have that Le Pip commercial. That was legit.
Yeah, I like that.
That was
She's
like the
cute.
only great
She's
thing.
small.
princess smells, so can you.
Are there any vendors in here? Because you kind of like, I was really hoping to get some Le Pip here.
Yeah, I know.
So-
somebody vendor needs to make that.
we were discussing like who does Pip compare to? We almost came to the conclusion like a rarity almost, but not really.
Yeah.
So that's really where it breaks apart, and that there is no direct comparison, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And what was it? Zip? I love Zip. She's amazing. I honestly thought she was just going to be the Rainbow Dash knockoff, but no, she's like way kind of different.
Well,
She's super smart. You
She's like the
guys.
smart pony.
well, Rainbow Dash was never the smartest pony.
No,
No, it
but,
wasn't.
but Zip actually is hinted at being
over here.
the more intelligent one.
Yeah. Because Zip, for what, that chalkboard scene?
Yeah, it's very subtle, and it's also on social media where they imply that she's the smart one.
Yeah,
so the
she's the
movie
smart
doesn't
one.
explain it, but yeah, the chalkboard in the background is basically the most hint we have that she's the smart one.
I love the fact that she doesn't like the limelight. She would much rather stay in the background.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to what's our next one?
All right. Well, did we, I feel
2D
like-
or 3D animation?
Yes.
I hope, is that the right one?
Yeah, it is. I got it here.
2D versus 3D animation. What's
Can
the
I-
best way to describe
Can I
this?
just say my first bullet point on this discussion?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that out of the way.
Waifus have to be 2D. It's
Oh
just
my
the law.
Are you kidding me?
No, but to be honest, I really do prefer 2D. I mean, there's 3D works. I just feel like it's just personal preference. I think 3D goes for photorealism compared to a cartoon world, which is more fantasy.
Are you
That's
kidding
just
me?
my
I
opinion.
prefer the 3D.
Yeah.
I prefer the 3D because Sunny and all the characters looked really cute. I'm sorry. That's why I got a plush of that Sunny over there. She looked really cute in 3D.
Yeah. But it all depends on really on how the 3D is handled in production, really.
Yeah, he's an actual 3D animator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could talk about the technical details of like what goes into the comparison between making a Flash cartoon and what do they use for G5? Do we know?
I thought it was.
I think Minty mentioned something about making it in, I think in G5, I think they use Arnold as their
Oh.
rendering engine, so maybe likely Maya, I'm guessing, or something
It's
like
just
that.
a matter of time before the fans, come to that same level and make our own 3D animations, right? We're gonna have to
I
upgrade
mean,
from
we're
SFM.
almost at that point. What was
We
that?
got-
We'll have SFM.
Yeah, SFM.
Yeah, SFM, yeah.
That's great.
We do have
we
the-
were ahead of them then.
We also got the 15.ai.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
Lord.
What's that got to do with it?
There's a little spreadsheet on 15.ai that says future voices. G5 characters are in there.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
It's coming.
yeah.
But yeah, like I was hinting at earlier, there's that minimalism with Friendship is Magic being a Flash cartoon that has an artistic quality to it, and the artistic limitations of working in Flash, I think,
Yeah.
that's my preference. I like Flash cartoons more than I like 3D.
Mm-hmm.
But 3D movie or show like G5, you get that photorealism, you get like actual fur and hair. It's so detailed. It's
I
so
love
detailed.
it. It's so cute.
Yeah, I agree.
When I first heard that it was going to be 3D animated, the first thing that came to mind, and does anyone here actually like the Hello Pinkie Pie shorts on YouTube?
No.
Oh, that was our first impression, wasn't it, too?
Yes, it
That
was.
was like our first intro to like MLB.
That's what I
3D
thought the
channel.
3D was going to be, because it was.
That was rough.
Yeah, when I was
I'm not going to say rough.
That,
I'm just going to say wasn't pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely when G5 was going to be announced was 3D.
Well, there's
I was
this-
like having a mixed opinion because it could go like either bad or good, or just depending really.
Yeah, and don't take our advice. We're just a bunch of dumb idiots up here. I'm sorry.
There's just a lot of technical work, I think, in the 2D because there's puppetry, just like in SFM stuff, which I use as 3D. I think the puppetry in 3D gets a lot more technical than 2D for me because I love playing around with those.
I can't give any crap because I tried to animate one time and it was horrible.
Oh,
I don't know how you animators do it, but
Yeah.
I can respect you for it because of how time consuming it is.
I spent
And as for
2,000 hours
3D,
in SFM. No, sorry for it.
as for 3D, I was asking Sonic here. It's like, what's easier to animate, 2D or 3D? And you said
I went with the 3D route actually. Like I don't
Really?
know, like I feel like 2D. I mean, yeah, of course it's like it's a lot cheaper and all that such. But I feel like with 3D, you get like a lot more flexibility in terms of like animating scenes and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
With like 2D backgrounds, like you see in the MLP show, all of those are like handmade, like probably like each individual shot or anything like that.
Or painted.
Meanwhile, with 3D. Like you have like so much variety and so much different camera angles that you can move around
Well,
really, so you get a lot more
I was
flexibility.
about to say, with the variety, in 2D, all the ponies are the same model, the same symbol,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
recolored.
that too.
A lot of them were just recolors.
In G5, they're all different shapes and sizes, and they're all different. So there's a lot
Exactly.
more variety, and that's another positive, I think,
Oh,
for 3D.
well,
We hit the lights.
okay.
Someone either hit the lights or got a power. No, it's
All
fine.
right, what's next? What's our next slide?
We're actually
Next up, how far in time?
speaking of time.
Yeah. Speaking of time, we got
10 minutes.
5:02. We only got like a couple minutes left.
Well, crap. Okay, we're gonna try our best to get this done quick. We basically talked about this in the beginning, but
yeah.
skip it. Go to the next one.
Okay. What does the future tell?
All right.
All right. So
What does the future tell? I think it's gonna be great, just because I want to see these characters more. I love the characters. First impression was amazing. I also might be biased.
Like
I
some-
honestly preferred they actually kept the voices from the original G5 movie.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of true.
I would have loved to have James Marsden as Hitch.
We didn't even begin to go through my bullet list. We're almost out of time.
I'm sorry.
I got too
Yeah,
many
we
notes,
had like
I think.
so
I
much more to
apologize.
talk about. Like,
Yeah, you
didn't-
got a
with the
little over
30-minute
10
panel,
minutes.
like there was so much more. That
I honestly thought it was going to be more awkward.
Can I,
like,
can I speed run some of the things I wrote down really
All
quick?
right.
All right, let's
So
speed
one
run
of
this,
them,
people.
again, focusing on comparisons between G4 and G5. One I thought was interesting was how G4 they're like more like cats sometimes. Like they'll sit like cats and act like cats, and they use their mouths to pick things up.
Yeah.
In G5 they're going a lot more for like they're more human. You know, they're a little bit more lanky, and they
Yeah.
use their hooves as hands more often.
Yeah.
So that's one of a few comparisons with how they interact with the world.
was another one on the bullet list because
Yeah, I just.
I feel bad. This is my panel, but Little Shy like wrote the
Yeah.
entire
I wrote a
document.
toy. Yeah.
Well, the other comparison is like the creatures. I mean, obviously, we haven't seen the other species, like, you know, griffins and all that cool stuff.
And that was one of my issues with like this new generations, because like especially since like it's trying to build off from previous G4, like I don't know really how much like they're building off of. I guess we'll find out like in the future series. But like, you know, it ended off with like all these creatures being together. So like in G5 when that started, like where's all the other creatures? All just ponies and just unicorns and Pegasus.
Personally, I thought things got a little bit crowded once G4 started to introduce a bunch
Yes.
of new species. So I like the idea of back to basics, just focus on these ponies and these ponies'
Just
stories.
focus on the 3 races. That's all we need.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think we need anything grand, at least
I'm
not
looking
until
forward.
later seasons.
I'm looking forward to seeing other creatures and species. I'm just
Yeah.
glad that we can have like a fresh start with the ponies as well.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's kind of true.
What else we have?
Yeah.
So we could try to talk about. Okay, that's more specific, but like the two movies we have as a comparison. We could talk about the G4 movie and G5 movie. We don't really have time for
G5
that.
movie was way better.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I'm just gonna say that.
I'm
Yeah.
saying too.
I think they both had a similar problem towards the end, where they just had to write a bunch of characters to solve a problem really quickly.
But
Yeah.
G4 did confirm Sia in the LMP universe.
Well, that's what this bullet point actually says: is the music comparison. We can't really compare it to the show, but we can compare some comparisons to the G4 movie, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I think G5 wins.
At least it has like a 40-minute background soundtrack, or even 11 minutes of just music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I liked
It was
it.
pretty
It was good.
short
Yeah.
for a soundtrack.
I think the Generation 5 movie did a lot better job of introducing the characters, while the G4 movie mostly. Well, we hope you know the main 6 because they obviously didn't.
Well, the G4's movie almost relies entirely on like knowing these characters,
Yeah.
knowing this world to
Oh,
some
yeah.
degree.
Even with the new characters, they didn't introduce them that well at all.
Yeah, well, G5 was more like, hey, bronies and other fans, like, here's all the characters you know and love, but here's also a new world. G4's movie was like, hey, fans, you love My Little Pony, come watch this movie.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
What else we got on here?
Oh boy, we do not have enough time for that one, do we?
What is it?
The whole plot point of bigotry and how it's depicted in G5 versus the later seasons of G4, I don't think we have enough time to dive into
You
that
put
one.
so much
But,
detail in
Yeah,
this.
I have a
Damn.
lot of.
Oh my gosh.
I spent a couple hours on these notes, but personally, I much preferred the way they handled it in G5 compared to like Chancellor Naysay. I thought I was not a fan of him at all. But then they go for this more ambiguous thing with Sprout and his mother. They're sort of villains, but also not villains.
It's funny, when Sprout's mom was introduced, did anyone here think that she was going to be like the main villain of the movie?
Yeah.
See, we were all thrown for a
Yeah.
curveball.
So was that intentional?
We think that was
Might have
mostly.
been.
Was that a red herring?
We think that was intentional, but then maybe an executive was like, "No, Sprout's better.
It might have
use
just-
him." I don't know.
Maybe they just changed it later on. Yeah, I don't know.
But still, mom was. I just say.
His mom was influencing him.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
I mean,
mom
there
is
was
just like.
original concept art where instead of Sprout building the Sprouticus in his image, it would be in his mother's image.
Was it in his-
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were-
You gotta keep up on Equestria Daily. They post all the concept art.
I don't pay that much to it.
I got all of that saved too on my backup drives.
So I just had this funny note. I think the CGI movie handles it in a more cartoony way than the actual cartoon handled the bigotry plot with the races being divided. I thought that was funny.
Yes.
There's a lot of things in the G5 movie that, despite being 3D, still has that cartoony charm. I personally like. Again, personal preference, but yeah, there's a lot to like there.
Now, to get back on the topic of what does the future hold or tell for Generation 5, let's just hope it's good, I guess. What am I supposed to say here? It's like Generation 5, we don't know much about it, so it's like we're going off very little information here. So
it's like vague. It's just like so vague. It can't even really tell too much besides just assuming and just assumptions. And rumors, maybe.
I think somebody had a question here.
Do we know if it's going to be a 3D or 2D series?
This is going by the news that we just recently.
Yeah, this is new information that just came out.
I think a Netflix series that's in 3D. I don't know like how good the quality would be in terms of like the movie, but it's definitely gonna be 3D. And then there's a 2D series that's going on YouTube that's I guess made for kids.
Pony Life 2.
Yeah, Pony Life 2 or
according to Equestria Daily, they got an interview from someone working on it. They say the 3D series is gonna be the same quality as the movie,
really?
And then the 2D series is its own thing.
So it's only getting one season.
Well, I heard like 8 episodes or something really small at first, and then something like 70 episodes for the YouTube one.
Wow.
5-minute episodes.
That's
5-minute episodes.
That's still pretty long though.
Yeah.
30-minute episode. I would imagine 3D being pretty. Yeah, it's gonna be a very short season just using 3D.
Now, any other questions we got here? I guess we can do like a quick little Q&A thing here.
Rapid fire.
What you got?
This question is for Littleshy. What do you hope they do with Pip? What's like?
With Pip.
What they do like with her arc? Yeah.
That's the thing. I was just saying. I like how cartoonishly simple her character is right now. So if they were to like develop her further, I don't even know, because that would be a good thing, obviously, to have that development, have that structure for the character.
I agree.
Yeah, I guess she would still have the same charm as an influencer. She could use that as like a skill or ability to, influence. like you said, use a live stream to save the day.
I wonder if we're gonna get an episode where she's gonna be dealing with being canceled.
It would not surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me if it happened, because that could be done. Because now we have Bones in Equestria, so it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, they could totally have an episode about something being posted that wasn't supposed to be posted. You know, like
a cease and desist letters.
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh, that'd be so meta. I would love that.
All right. Anything else? Sorry, this panel's going off the rails right now.
There's one right there. I see. Yes.
You guys missed improper layering from Gen 4.
Yeah.
What was the question?
The animation errors, improper layering.
Dude.
We already got tons of that.
Yeah,
Actually,
we found a bunch in our last viewing of this movie.
3D is rendered in passes, so rather than having like a handful of layers, you have like hundreds of passes. So there's plenty of animation errors to be found.
Were you a 3D animator? Like, what do you know about 3D?
I've just watched the movie a dozen times, and I have like 50 different animation errors that didn't make my video script.
Dude, I never noticed.
Well, I'm a 3D animator, so I know some of the things.
There's always those slight glitches in render that happens too.
Yeah, there's one scene in the movie, it's a pretty obvious one, where the dog sits down right before Pip and Zip are introduced, and the dog's hair literally clipped through the floor.
Yeah, look close.
It's pretty bad.
Well, it's not really an error, but like this is like something like they've been doing for some of the eye stuff, where like if you like look at the eyes in like almost every scene, they use like almost like the same HDRI like sheen or whatever. You can like see
the
like,
reflection.
the same background.
Yeah, you see the reflection.
reflection.
Yeah.
But
So-
like when they're in like inside of a building, what they're actually using is like a Maritime Bay HDRI, and
That's what it looks
scene,
like.
it doesn't match anything.
Yeah. Oh, what you got?
Yeah. So one of the big differences about the G5 movie was all the characters grew up without magic.
That's right.
And technology.
Yeah,
So,
That is really
how do you think
true.
that's going to change things?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I think there'll be a lot of accidents with the Pegasi trying to learn how to fly.
I thought it was interesting. how
That's a
they-
good one.
They
They'd
stagger the
introduce flying
technology
licenses.
level. Like
Yeah.
the unicorns have nothing, the Pegasi have all the technology. So
Yeah, unicorns just live in the woods somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we're gonna have to wrap this up real fast.
we have a couple minutes. I don't know if you
I
want.
think we got
We've
4
got like
minutes.
3.
Okay, I guess we'll just finish off with some, minor Q&As. What are you guys hoping for the movie? You just raise your hand, then we just go.
I
You
will.
mean the show?
Or,
Oh,
Yeah. Well, we're getting specials that are kind of movies as well, aren't we?
yeah, we got one coming out in May, actually.
Yeah, I think the new series that they just announced, I think it's coming back in September and in November, I think.
Yeah, recently with, I think it was a while back, I actually forgot about it, that I got a package from Amazon, and it was a little mini book of G5, but it was about Sunny trying to get over her dad. Yeah, and it was all about Izzy trying to, help her out. It's a very good comic, but the art style is weird. What you got?
Yeah. So I guess what I'm really looking forward to with the series is I hope they can strike the balance, telling us sort of what happened after G4 without directly explaining it.
That would be very nice
Yeah.
to see what would kind of happen. But I like how it's just open to interpretation. Like you basically make your own theory. Like maybe Fallout Equestria did happen. I don't know.
I mean, Argyle was a historian. Like he had all the
Right.
G4 stuff.
Dude, you know Twilight stuff in his house has to be worth like a fortune now.
Like,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, possibility. Like my theory is maybe he got all that stuff and just got it just simply after our ruling.
How do you get Twilight's wing though?
How do you get the bell?
Exactly.
Yeah,
How do you
exactly.
get the bell?
Maybe it was a replica.
He has his ways.
It might not have been the bell. Maybe it was a replica.
It was
Yeah,
the-
we got one more question.
All right, last one, I guess. I don't know who wants to go, or I guess okay.
Any
MC.
questions?
We'll make it real quick. Can you make yours quick?
Yeah.
All right, you go. We'll have you go first, then she goes.
Okay. Go.
Do you think with the return of Magic they'll get their few markers back on the other side?
Probably. I like that, but I also understand why they didn't do it, just because of the toys.
Well,
Exactly.
that's the thing. I heard it wasn't just the toys. There was an interview with the director. He said it was a design thing, but that's a whole thing we could spend an hour
Yeah.
ranting about, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, MC, go.
Go.
I was thinking, like, what if there's a possibility? It's not a question, but what if the possibility is that Sunny's dad had made up stories
Yeah.
about the
Friendship is Magic never actually happened.
The book was written by Argyle.
It never happened. He wrote Friendship is Magic.
Yeah.
Season
that's a
4
big
was
theory.
Argyle's fan fiction.
Oh, they're going.
This is way too deep for like 1
This is
minute. in the
getting way
panel
too
left.
deep.
Well, I was thinking he had found stuff like
Maybe.
he was a
Maybe.
researcher.
Like I said, Twilight's wing in.
Stuff was put together.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up.
Because the dolls in Sunny's room were exactly like the same. So, like the same as.
Yeah.
But
Now,
yeah, again, I mean,
We're being
all
told-
of it's open to interpretation, but yeah.
now we are being basically told by staff to just
We
hurry
gotta
up.
kick
Just
out.
to
We're gonna
heck
kick
out.
down people.
Yeah, there's a
But-
lot to talk about here.
I'm sorry,
I think the general view I think is pretty optimistic. What do you think, guys? Think?
Yeah.
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 I apologize, guys. We thought this was gonna be like an awkward panel. We were not expecting to have like.
I was the one that wrote the notes. I guess he didn't read them.
Yeah, I read a bunch. I skimmed.
So yeah, the staff can blame Littleshy for us
Yeah.
reaching time.
Kick him out of the con next
Yeah,
year.
but thanks for coming, everyone. It was
Yeah,
fun to
thanks,
talk about
everybody.
G5.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good one.
Hope it was a good panel. Sorry for being
Enjoy
depressing.
the rest of your time in Harmonycon.
Ugh.
We did a good job. Everyone did.